Hello, welcome to Proud Veteran Outreach, our weekly TV show to offer you, the citizen, the opportunity to help support military vets. My name is Jim Jurowitz. I'm an Army military vet, and we are here to help find the isolated or lost military vet who may be your neighbor, who may be going to church with you, or you may know them through some relationship. What we would like you to do is to identify them and bring them to any of the military vet support organizations, including us, because suicide rates with military vets is 23 per day. 25% of all homeless people are military vets, and 48% of all military vets are in pain. So we need your help. We want to give them support. We are here brought to you by Vet Centers in Brooklyn Center, St. Louis, St. Paul, and Duluth. So you can always call the Vet Centers. I'm wearing the colors of Vet Centers today. And today, to support military vets, what we are bringing you is a show about military vet-owned businesses. Businesses that you can use by supporting the military vet by buying your services or giving your services to the military vet-owned businesses. And we're working through an organization, a national organization called Trust Vets. We have Joe Johnson of Trust Vets here. Joe, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And we have a Trust Vets member, Patrick Miller, who is a military vet-owned business, a construction company. I'm going to have Joe tell us about Trust Vets, and then we will have Patrick tell us about his experiences starting his own business and realizing the benefits of veteran-owned business. So Joe, please tell us about Trust Vets.
Fantastic. So Trust Vets, at its heart, is a website, trustvets.com, and it's a place where everyone can join us in doing business with American military veterans. There are literally hundreds of industries on there. We have veterans across the country. And so when it comes down to things like getting your lawn mowed or your roof replaced, having someone work on your car, or if you want to order flowers, you hop on trustvets.com, and it's an online directory which connects you with veteran-owned businesses and veteran business professionals across the United States. And so for many in our community, they want to do more for our veterans, and Trust Vets is a simple way to make good on those intentions. You simply go to the website, you can look at their stories, look at their photos, connect with them directly, and do a little business with them. I think in large part, one of the things we can do for veterans is allow them to continue to serve here at home. They wish to continue to serve, they wish to be of value and of service, and if we can help them succeed in their business, it helps them to continue to serve our communities here.
So as a community service, you told us off camera how many categories of businesses that you have to offer. It's pretty impressive numbers. So would you mind sharing that with our audience here?
Yes, total on the website we have over 800 categories. Right now we have membership in over 30 states. So, and that's everyone from Patrick Miller here in the Twin Cities. If you need roofing or remodeling or windows, he'll tell you more about his services, but all the way up to Eagle, Alaska. We have a Navy SEAL up there who makes a living selling greeting cards. We've got Aaron Hale down in Florida who lost his eyes and his ears in service to our country, but now he makes world-class fudge. And that makes it really simple to do business with veterans, is to order some amazing fudge from Aaron and his wife.
Okay, and you have a Facebook page that's pretty impressive, pretty responsive, so tell us the numbers on that.
Absolutely. So at this point, we've got more than 47,000 followers. We're on a big push to get to 50,000. We reach about 300,000 people a week, and so that's where we introduce our members. That's where we introduce our mission, where we go and say, after proudly serving the United States Navy, today Patrick Miller serves our community as the owner of Patrick Miller Construction.
Sorry about that.
We're going to have a little dance.
Apologize about that.
Absolutely, no worries.
Is that a phone?
But we go to Facebook and we'll say, after proudly serving the United States Navy, today Patrick Miller serves our community as the owner of Patrick Miller Construction. And it comes with that inherent value that for the 1,000 corners he could cut in doing business, he doesn't cut a single one because he's got that integrity that was instilled in him in the United States Armed Forces, and he holds himself and his shop and his employees accountable to that, and it just leads to better service for the end user, for the customer who needs some work done, who doesn't want to pick up the phone and call a stranger. They have a chance to pick up the phone and call a veteran.
Okay, so let's let Patrick tell us about who you are, what branch of the service you served in, and how your military experience helped you in starting your business and the whole transition.
Well, thanks, Jim. I just want to say thank you for inviting me on this
Well,
program.
I forgot to shake your hand there, sir.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you for the invite. It's been great. I went into the U.S. Navy when I was 19 years old, and I was on board the USS Wabash AOR-5, and we were stationed in Long Beach, California. And I was a HT, or a hull tech, as they call it. So I was a onboard shipboard firefighter, maintenance, repair, welder, and so that was my job on board the ship. And so I being new on board a ship, you get a lot of the bad jobs. So you learn how to take the good with the bad, and you kind of build your way into a ship to get some of those the better jobs, I should say. So that was just kind of my process, as I was in the service, being out on being out on sea, being on a ship, learning. Learning, your job really and what it entitles. And so, it wasn't really anything glorious. I mean, I was a Gulf War I vet. I was in the Persian Gulf in 1990-91. And so it was a little bit of an experience being, in theater on board a ship, a little different mindset, a little different things were just a little different than it was just being out, on the high seas or being in port. So that was an experience that I still remember to this day, 29 years ago.
So let me ask you, it wasn't an easy transition for you to start your own business and to pick yourself up and make some decisions. So if you don't mind getting a little personal, tell us how your life turned around as a result of being a vet and then deciding to go into business.
Well, the one thing I will say is that after I got out of the military, I had probably 10 different jobs. And, I will say that, all I ever really wanted was to work for a company that I felt like I wasn't in competition with the people I worked with.
Yeah.
And I wanted to work within an organization that wanted success as much as I did, and I just didn't get that fulfillment that I had when I was in the military, and so I just was enough is enough. I'm gonna start my own company, and it was more of a come hell or high water, or do or die, but I'm going to make this happen, and I'm going to make this work. And so
how did you decide the business that you wanted to go into was construction? Did you have experiences there, or did you?
I didn't have a tremendous amount of experience either in business or in construction. To be honest with you, a lot of the jobs that I had taken after I got out of the military were in wholesale distribution of building materials.
Okay.
So I had a lot of exposure to construction, contracting, building, things like that. So, that was what I knew, and so that's what I kind of leaned into. So so that was kind of my premise. And so I was a single entrepreneur for many, many years, and probably the first 8 years of my business, it was just myself, until you get to a point where you want to start to grow your company, and you have to hire more people and bring in more people. And, that's when things really started to kind of take off.
So in your business, and I want to plug Trust Vets here, but in your business, as you're marketing yourself, and I would say you're above average as a marketer with your logos and your point of purchase and your graphics and your website, in your business, did the Trust Vets logo help you in your business? Did the fact that you're a military vet help you with clients or recruit employees? What did the strength of being a military veteran do for your business?
Well, that's a great question. I think that for my first meeting with Trust Vets, I would say that I was definitely in a group that was feeling the same pain I was in business and trying to, get customers and generate income and generate business and being able to share and collaborate with other people. Trust Vets I think that has brought me a lot of other companies that have helped my business, whether it be something as simple as the shirt that I'm wearing with the logo on it, or the some of the my website was a part of a Trust Vets member that helped me do that. So I really I think that in the Trust Vets meetings you really get to meet. It seems like every time I go to a Trust Vets meeting, I'm meeting someone new for the first time that's like been there since day one, and I'm like, how did we not know each other? So that part has been really good for me. And you're around a military kind of a mindset, with that. It's really cool. So I do like that.
So let's open the discussion up to a
Sure.
little interactive conversation here. So he's referring to a Trust Vets meeting, and so why don't you tell us what other events or activities that Trust Vets has? I know there's been a lot of them since I've been a member of Trust Vets, and so why don't you let the public know how they can engage with Trust Vets?
Excellent, fantastic. Yeah, so that has evolved over time. At this point, we're trying to hyper-focus and streamline our efforts, so we're doing a central monthly business rally. Now, that's open to all veterans. It's also open to all civilians. Anyone who wants to join us in doing business with veterans, it's a chance to come in and shake hands, to network, to get to know folks. And then we always feature veteran entrepreneurs, right? We bring them up, we interview them about their challenges and their successes and the tie that binds and what ties together the military veteran business community. And so as an example, this upcoming meeting, we have Air Force veteran James Selkis coming in. And the purpose of his message is to reiterate to his fellow members and to our community that same flag, the American flag that you wore on your shoulder when you served our country, you're still wearing that here at home, in life and in business and in the choices that you make every single day. That flag is still on your shoulder. And how does that impact how you serve and take care of your employees in your community?
Okay, so there's a lot of veteran-owned businesses that we've had Wells Fargo on here promoting VA loans. I think what we should do is encourage to our public audience out there that there's a lot of military vet-owned businesses that don't know about Trust Vets.
Yes.
And so we should encourage those, or even you as civilians know of a veteran-owned business. If they don't know about Trust Vets, certainly go to the website and sign up, because how easy is it to sign up for Trust Vets?
It's we've made it as simple as possible. It's kind of a plug and play, almost like a Facebook environment. But here's the big thing, and this is important. If you know a veteran business professional or veteran entrepreneur, when they come to Trust Vets and they enroll in the website, it's going to have them upload their photo, their address, their phone number. It's very simple to build that profile. But at no point during the entire process are they ever asked for any payment information. We provide all of our services for free for American military veterans. We want them to plug in, we want them to engage, not only so they can do business with the community, but so they can surround themselves with fellow veterans in business. We want to help them succeed in that veteran environment, and there's absolutely no strings attached to membership. It costs nothing to get plugged into this organization.
Great. And so Patrick, you have qualified for a certification of business declaration that's military related, and you also identified that there's business opportunities that only vets can qualify for. Can you expound on that so some of the other veteran-owned businesses can be aware of those?
Yeah, the thing that if you've served your country and you do qualify, as a veteran-owned business with the state of Minnesota, or the federal government. And in my case, I have 10% hearing loss, so I qualify for a service-disabled veteran-owned business, which I've been certified through CVE out of Washington, D.C., which takes about 3.5 to 4 months roughly to get that certification. So they take like 3 years of taxes, 3 years of business, your checking account. They have resumes of myself and people within the company, and it is a little bit of a process. The process is hard because they're really weeding out a lot of people that don't qualify or aren't qualifying, and it eliminates a lot of fraud in contracting as a veteran business with the government, because we do get a 6% preference when we go to bid. So if one guy is $106 and I'm $100, I can get that bid because I have a 6% preference as a veteran business. So it's those programs are available. They're not easy to really navigate. So I did need help. I got help to get that, and part of that is I leaned on Trust Vets, and immediately Trust Vets steered me towards Minnesota PTAC, which PTAC is an organization within the state of Minnesota that doesn't charge for their services, that helped me become certified, which was without that organization I would have been completely lost. So it's good. So we're like newly minted. So we haven't gotten any contracts yet. We're still learning the game. Just because you have a driver's license doesn't mean you can drive. So we're still learning.
Okay, so go back to you, Joe, as Minnesota PTAC. What the heck does Minnesota PTAC mean? And then also there's other government organizations that advocate what Trust Vets is doing. Can you tell us about some of those?
Yeah, there's a lot of great organizations, and that's where it kind of weaves together nicely. Is PTAC is to help veterans in transition assistance, right? Take that down to its simplest level. It's to help the veterans become veteran-owned certified businesses, all the way down to here is specifically what you should have your business card look like and what it should say if you want to get that contract by passing your business card at the expo, right? So they help veterans down to that really simple level. There are other organizations like Bunker Labs. If there's a veteran out there considering starting a business and they have the idea jotted down on a napkin, that's when you go to Bunker Labs, and they'll help you bring it to fruition. Once you bring it to fruition, we bring you over to Trust Vets and introduce you to 50,000 people on social media and ask them to pick up the phone and do a little business with you. And I just want to clarify and touch on a piece that Patrick said. Patrick has been doing incredible work in our community for years. Highly recommended. We've sent a great deal of referrals his direction because we don't have to worry about it. We know it's going to be taken care of and done right. So you'd mentioned you're newly minted. You're newly minted in the government sphere.
Oh, sure.
But obviously in the residential construction industry, you've got a
15 years in business.
Yeah, massive reputation, excellent reputation. And so one of the things Patrick touched on that I love about Trust Vets is for a business owner like Patrick, when he got his shirts done, that's Milton Werner, a fellow veteran. When he got his insurance, that's a Marine Corps veteran, right? He can surround himself in business with people who refuse to see him fail. Mm-hmm. On every service, insurance, everything from printing to signs to promotional products to legal assistance, website, like whatever they need. Like the nice part of Trust Vets, and we've had many members do this, where they step in and say, I've just started a business, and suddenly they're surrounded by fellow veterans who want to help them succeed.
So you also identified, how Trust Vets has helped other people. There's a story that I know of that I would like you to tell our audience, and that is about the veteran who was detected with cancer and was about to pass away without taking care of his family because he didn't know the benefits that he had available to him. So can you reflect on that story, how you engaged and brought the right resources available?
Yeah, so Minnesota has such a wonderful veteran community of organizations, and there's so many amazing people that are there to help. Very dear friend of mine, Vietnam veteran, served, he was attached to the 101st in Vietnam's service on Hamburger Hill, the most humble, genuine American I've ever known, diagnosed late with horrific intrusive cancer. He had never set foot back in the VA. He had set foot when he first got home from Vietnam, and they treated him so poorly he swore he'd never go back. And once this happened, there was a lot of conversation, but he finally took that step to go back to the VA, and he was blown away and impressed. And so what happened through that process is the Disabled American Veterans of Minnesota showed up at his kitchen table and helped him navigate the paperwork, helped him navigate the claim. Within 3 weeks, he was 100% service-connected disability, and suddenly he didn't have to worry about losing his home and his property and everything he'd worked for his entire life. Suddenly he was taken care of, and most importantly for him, he knew that Mary was going to be okay and that his wife was going to be okay. And so there's a lot of veterans that are still standing back in the shadows. And because of the way this has all come together over the years, it's finally okay for them to step out of the shadows and know that they're going to be caught, and that there's a larger community out there that cares, and that they're not going to fall through the cracks. They're not alone. I think the single biggest thing I hear at Trust Vets meetings is I didn't realize how much I missed the camaraderie. And sometimes that's in the form of compliments, and sometimes it's in the form of making fun of each other, but they have
Yeah, and
fun
that's
with
good.
it.
And that's why we want the citizens out there to know that they also can be a part of that camaraderie.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Patrick, you also had a good positive experience recently when you hired a military vet. Some people out there say it's hard to find a good vet to hire, or because a vet may be isolated, they may not be coming forward and applying for some of these jobs. Tell us about your experience about you recruiting an employee. How did it work out for you?
You know, it worked out good, and it's been a positive experience. And I think that he has a service-related, injury in Iraq, and so you have to be sensitive to that. You don't know what was going on there. You don't really, you can't say I know what you feel like, because you don't. And I believe that, I think that it just starts with yourself, and how how I present myself to him, as just someone who cares, genuinely care about, him and, and his success is, I think that, I think that it starts with yourself first, and what you believe in, and what it is that what my goals are, what my dreams are, and being able to share that with someone, and he can share that with me, and somewhere we can align that together. And I believe that as that sounds, that's kind of where it ended up, is that we both want success. So, that camaraderie that Joe talked about in those meetings, as I'm experiencing that, within my organization. And that's something that's built on day one, is that camaraderie and that culture within an organization. And I feel that I've brought some of that from my ship right into my company, in the fact that, the trust and the integrity, and, the honesty in which we portray as a company. We just don't lie, and sometimes the truth hurts, and sometimes the truth costs money too in a business, but it's the truth, and you can fix the truth. And so I think that that's where really he kind of gravitated to me, I kind of gravitated to him, is that we both have something in common there.
Okay, so we only have a minute or two left. What I'd like to identify is the fact that as a military veteran, you have to role model to your employees. You didn't identify how many employees you have.
I have 16 employees.
Okay, so you're modeling good behavior to your employees, and consequently you have gone deep into thought and become an inspirational speaker, right?
Well, I like to say that I would say that I love to speak. I love to speak in front of people. I love to speak in front of crowds and just to tell my story and to talk about my business and talk about the people that I surround myself with and where we're going and how we're doing.
Okay, so with that, if the general public out there would like Trust Vets to come and speak at any one of their events or a church meeting or something like that, are you open to
Absolutely.
not only yourself but people within Trust Vets?
Absolutely. We have people like Patrick to share his story and that business story. We also have members like Richard Middleton who'd love to come out and share the story of the history of the American flag, right? So we have many, many speakers available for community groups that want to connect.
Good. All right, so we're also going to be proactive with the Legion Post, American Legions, and VFW, so you can learn more about Trust Vets there. We want the civilians also to find a vet and bring them to a Legion Post and buy them a meal, and any kind of sponsorship you offer would be appreciated. So thank you very much for listening. I hope you use a military vet-owned business. Joe, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Patrick,
Thank you.
you so much.
Very
Okay.
cool.
Thank you, everyone.